long as you keep your word and Abby gets a job with a good salary and health benefits, I'll work at ELQ this summer.
Oh, you have no idea how happy this makes me. You know, ELQ is your birthright, So it's time you two get better acquainted. When can you start?
Well, as soon as Jason says he's okay with this.
You said you wouldn't interfere.
You did, and I asked.
Well, Jason, you know, deep in your heart, after all the time and tragedy, that ELQ is the ideal situation for Michael. And it'll give him a better than a fighting chance. And it'll be helpful for Abby, too.
Oh, don't make me a factor.
Oh, but you are, dear.
I'm serious. Don't make this decision because of me. You going to work for the ELQ has to be completely your decision and made for reasons that are about you.
Jason, I'd really like to hear what you have to think.
Well, I agree with Abby. It's got to be your call. But whatever you decide, I'm with you 100%.
That's a cop-out. Give me the pros and the cons.
The pros and the cons. Okay, Edward is your family. His love for you is genuine and it's never wavered. Edward wants to see you succeed in life as much as the rest of us do, and he'll do everything in his power to make that happen.
Oh, Jason, I'm touched.
The cons. Edward is crafty. He loves to be in control. He's going to pull strings. He's going to maneuver you into whatever he thinks is for your own good. So whatever you decide, you got to keep your guard up.
Seems to me that you know a little bit about manipulation also. You know, smoothly assuring Michael that it's his choice while you're trying to scare him off.
He asked. I gave him an answer. Let me know what you do.
Would you, like to be alone with your great-grandfather for a minute?
No, it's fine. Jason knows you pretty well. Any reason I shouldn't take what he said as truth?
No, he was right on all counts. But this is your chance to make your first executive decision. Now, taking into account everything that Jason had to say, do the risks in coming to work for me outweigh the gains?
Just dropped Jocelyn and Mercedes off at home. I was so looking forward to spending time with her. I miss her like crazy when she's with Jax, but I couldn't even stay and enjoy it because I'm so angry. So I came here so I could calm down before I said or did something that would come back and bite me in court.
Because you're too smart for that. What happened?
I showed up to Jax's suite to pick up Jocelyn, and what do I see? That ridiculous woman standing there holding my daughter.
You must be talking about Brenda.
Yeah, I'm talking about Brenda. My God, I wanted to leap across the room, rip Jocelyn out of her arms, and wipe up the floor with her.
But instead you kept your cool, right, Carly? Because you know Jax would have used it against you.
See, that's why I love you. You have so much faith in me. And look, I'm feeling calmer already. Do you have any junk food?
Well, don't get too calm. I have some news about Michael you're probably not going to like.
Oh, no, did he get in trouble again?
No. This is good.
What happened?
Michael's gonna work for ELQ this summer.
Like hell.
You go off?
I'm not gonna go off because it's not gonna happen.
But Michael wants to do this.
Michael doesn't know what he's getting himself into.
Do I get a chance to talk?
Yes, talk, but you're not gonna change my mind.
Okay, if Michael works for ELQ, it totally removes him from anything that has to do with this business and this organization.
Firmly under the influence of Edward Quartermain. Finally, justice will be served, right?
What the hell does that mean?
You know what they say? What goes around comes around. I treated the Quartermains horribly when it came to Michael. I refused to acknowledge them as Michael's family. I refused to acknowledge that AJ was Michael's biological father. Some would argue that AJ would still be alive if he could have been a part of Michael's life, that he would have tried to be a better person, he would have done the right thing.
That was a long time ago. More recently, when Michael woke up from the coma, you were willing to let him live with the Quartermains.
Only for a short period of time, and it didn't last, okay? You know that Edward is going to get in Michael's ear, and he's going to tell him that I'm a horrible person. That I willfully deprived Michael from his birthright, and that I let him grow up in the care of big, bad mobsters. You know what's going to happen.
This is a way to keep Michael safe. I mean, isn't that what's most important?
You know, that's really easy for you to say, Jason. Edward would never try and turn Michael against you. Me? That's a different story.
I've assigned...
I left the Quartermains feeling like I made a really huge mistake.
Did Edward do something already?
No, he couldn't have been more delightful and charming. But all of a sudden, I could just really see so clearly where all this is heading. I mean, Edward wants Michael not just for a summer. He wants Michael to be his heir.
Yeah, that's really not going to come as a shock to Michael if that's what you're worried about.
But that's huge, Jason. I mean, it changes everything.
How?
I never realized until I was in that house today the kind of family that Michael really comes from. I mean, the Quartermains, that's old money. I mean, power that's been in place for generations. I mean, they're conglomerates and empires and acquisitions. And Edward wants to give all of it to Michael.
That doesn't mean Michael's going to take it. He's never really expressed any interest in that at all.
He's never really spent any concentrated time with Edward. I mean, what if Michael decides that that is what he wants?
What if it does?
I know this is going to sound totally selfish. But where does that leave me?
With Michael only richer?
I'm going to be the first casualty. I mean, Edward found me as useful. You know, as soon as Michael's hooked, I mean, I'm unsuitable and expendable.
Michael's not going to think that.
I don't really want to take that chance. I mean, maybe I can still persuade Michael, you know, to not work for ELQ. The question is, do I have that right?
Jocelyn's upstairs.
I mean, if there's something really bugging you about the whole ELQ thing, you should tell him.
But Edward can offer Michael an incredible future. Shouldn't that be what's most important?
You know, when Michael was a baby, I pretty much stole him from the Quartermains. And now this is Edward's chance to steal him back. And I could stop him.
Have you thought about it?
Yeah, I've thought about it. But Michael could end up wanting to live his life as a Quartermain. And that would make him safe. But then again, I try to use that logic with Jake, and the truth is, I don't really know. Is it worth losing Michael to keep him safe?